The World Health Organization has warned there are critical unknowns when it comes to the newly emerging coronavirus variants. An emergency committee announced on Friday that countries around the world need to increase their efforts to find out if vaccines and treatments will work on the new forms of the virus. Well, for more on these variants, we're joined by Bruno Ciancio, head of the surveillance unit at the European Centre for Disease and Prevention Control. Thanks very much for joining us on Euronews tonight. Now, the UK is closing travel corridors to protect against the risk of these new COVID variants. Is the European Union likely to follow suit?
Well, we know that this virus has already been detected in many countries in Europe and in the world. And therefore, it is very difficult to contain it. Our goal now is to delay its further spread. And this can be done by reducing, by strengthening the public health measures that are currently in place. Fortunately, the virus has not changed in terms of the way it transmits and its severity. And therefore, what it means is that the measures that are currently in place need to be stronger and more complied to in order to reach the same effect that they had on the previous virus. Travel is part of it, but in a time where the virus is already detected in several countries, it's unlikely to solve the problem.
Now, what do we know about these new variants that have been discovered in Brazil and South America?
The variant from South America, we know that is already circulating outside of South America and has been detected also in several EU countries. It is a variant that that has increased transmissibility, like the UK variant. All the variants that are emerging these days are meant to really escape the public health measures that are in place. So they are more transmissible. In the future, when there will be pressure from the vaccine, when a big part of the population is vaccinated, it's also likely that this vaccine will try to escape the vaccines. And therefore, the most important public health intervention at this stage is to improve our ability to rapidly detect these new variants, which require quite advanced laboratory skills through whole genome sequencing. The other variant detected in Brazil and Japan, we know at the moment very little. We know that it's different from the South African and the UK variant, but they have in common some mutations of the spike protein. So although we don't know what this means epidemiologically or microbiologically, it is possible that also this variant is more transmissible, but we have no evidence to prove it at the moment.
Just a word about vaccine passports. The WHO is against the idea, but some EU countries are in favour of the idea, or at least receptive to it. Where does the ECDC stand on this?
Well, our position is that any document that prove vaccination status, if released by a trusted authority, can be useful. The main use that we see for this at the moment is that someone who has been vaccinated in one country and then moves to another country can get maybe the second vaccination in another country. But at the moment, we don't see any other possible uses.
Bruno Ciancio from the European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control. Thanks very much for joining us on Euronews tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.